Hi, kids. Okay, on this day in film history for August 16th, 1985, is the release of The Return of the Living Dead, zombie horror comedy, maybe a camp classic. It is written and directed by Dan O'Bannon. It is based on original story idea. I think may have been a novel or intended to be a novel by John Russo. John Russo, years prior, was writer with George A. Romero in Night of the Living Dead. The two of them parted ways eventually, and Russo retained the rights to the Living Dead series. He could make Living Dead movies. Romero could not make movies with Living Dead in the title, so that's why you get Dawn of the Dead, so on and so forth, Day of the Dead. So we have Return of the Living Dead. That's how it gets its title. It's funny enough because Night of the Living Dead is public domain because they copyrighted the wrong title. A lot of title stuff. Anyways, O'Bannon I've talked about before on this channel, mostly in the video for Alien. He's a writer on Alien. This is his directorial debut. I think he only has one more film that he directed after this. Yeah, so Return of the Living Dead. 1989 is Uncle Buck, written and directed by John Hughes, of course, starring John Candy, Amy Madigan, and we also have Macaulay Culkin in this. Culkin would go on to get his own John Hughes penned film, not directed, of course, Home Alone. Yeah, this is, I don't know, where do you rank Uncle Buck in the John Hughes written and directed filmography? There's only like, what, 8 of them, I think, that he wrote and directed. Most of them are your 16 Candles and so forth. And then let's talk about a birth. 1954 is the birth of James Cameron. He is 69 years old today, Canadian born. Guy who will and can do everything on set. There's a lot of directors who get behind the camera and be the camera operator. But James Cameron notoriously will take over pretty much anyone's job because he has experience doing pretty much anyone's job, whether it be makeup or special effects, what have you. He was a production assistant on Rock and Roll High School, the Ramones film, 1979. He worked with Roger Corman. He made miniature models. He did matte paintings. He worked as an art director. He did special effects on Escape from New York. All of these things, he worked in all of the departments before finally getting to direct Piranha 2. I think he worked on Piranha 1 in special effects capacity. Piranha 2, he gets to direct, and then gets the idea for Terminator. The rest is history. Terminator, Terminator 2, Aliens, Titanic, Avatars, Abyss. About it, right? Am I missing one? Of course, first director to direct a film to $1 billion at the box office. First director to direct more than one film to $2 billion, maybe, right? You look at the highest grossing films of all time, and he's got the Titanic and the Avatars right up there. James Cameron, Canadian. And then let's talk about death. 1956 is the death of Bela Lugosi is dead. Bela Lugosi is dead, 73 years old, has a heart attack. Born in Hungary in 1882. Did a horror series. Started, one of the first ones was talking about Dracula. Todd Browning directed. Did he direct it? Lugosi, of course, well known for being Dracula. He played Dracula on Broadway prior to the Universal film, and then he was kind of tied to that character for life. Interesting guy, Bela. Inflated perhaps his screen credits or his stage credits in Hungary before he came over. Always wanted the fame, the adulation, but couldn't really escape that Dracula cape. And then his final screen performance is the worst film of all time, Plan 9 from Outer Space, which he's barely in, right? Died during production. Ed Wood's dentist, I think, that's the story, right? Had to put a cape over his face, take his place. Like that changed the quality of the picture. Anyways, so that's it for On This Day in Film History. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. See you tomorrow.